Another video clip here from Jennings. This is May 18th again with Southern Trek Days. Just sharing some of my opinions again. This one is with Mike on his ZX10. I caught him a little later in this session. Ignore the time on the video here because it's not right. I need to fix that. But in the meantime, let's see what we got here. I'd ridden with Mike earlier in the day, doing really good. Wanted me to try to nitpick him a little bit, so. A little bit of traffic here. I'm going to try to get right behind him so I can see what he's doing. Shouldn't really critique too much until he's on his own, because who knows if this rider's influencing his riding. The only thing I would say is, Mike, definitely work on, always ride on your line. Always do the things that you want to be doing, even if you're caught up behind somebody. It helps drive home that muscle memory. You always got to be doing it the way that you want to be doing it, no matter what. It's always good habit. Drive. Pretty good. Now try to get as wide as you can. So I would say let's back this up a little bit. It's gonna go 15 seconds. I wish I could make that go less, but I can't. When you get here, this is kind of when you're at the widest part of this turn, right? Now you've got to cut it back tight, and you could do it better without shedding as much speed if you were now to have your upper body, or just your body in general, further off the motorcycle. Then you could keep the lean angle that you're carrying here, but have the body off to the inside, pulling to the left. You would then be able to hit your mark that you're trying to hit without shedding quite as much speed. Your body position isn't bad there, but we could definitely be off the bike more, allowing you to carve back without dropping as much speed here. And ideally I want to be here with the angle going up track versus being out wider, because all you did was you just gave up, I don't know, call that 10 feet. That's 10 feet. Here is 10 feet on the exit that you won't have because of not hitting that apex. Don't quit on this turn. When you're coming out of 2 here, see if I manually back it up, if I can go back less. Look good here, but continue pulling. Same thing. Continue to pull. You'll hear this a lot at videos from Jennings, because it's very common. Continue off the left side of the motorcycle, pulling it to the left, while you use the gas to accelerate and drive it to the right. You should not be giving up on this corner, because it'll allow you to attack harder. You carried this fairly upright through there, where I think if you were to been more aggressive on that exit, it would have brought you out here, which is where we want to be entering in 3. So now you're a little bit on the shallow side. It's nitpicking, but again, now I would think here I'd be willing to bet that you could say, looking at this video, that you could gas it between 4 and 5. Kind of feels like we're coasting through here at this point, right? We should be shedding speed faster than we are, right? Like if we're decelerating, it should be to a point, right? We're decelerating on a mission. I've got a goal that I'm trying to get to, and if I'm going from, if I'm going, let's see, 81, 82, we're down to 60, right? We just watch that deceleration is fairly slow. Okay, let's see here. We're kind of rolling down 80s, 75, 65, 60, 55. So that deceleration was pretty slow. So ideally, that typically going to tell you if I could accelerate between 4 and 5, I should have carried more speed into 3, right? I should not be able to pick up the gas after 4. I typically do, because I fall into that same trap of kind of rolling through 4 and 5 rather than shove it in there as fast as I can, and then I can't accelerate between there because I have to shed speed out of fear that I'm going to run off on the exit of 5. That was good. Good. I like how you came back. You didn't quite trust where you were there, but that's fine. That's just a matter of doing it consistently over and over and over, and then you'll trust that you had that. It would have been perfect had you not kind of stood it up a little bit there. But that's a trust thing you'll get. Not bad. So here, let's back up that whole section here. So I'm gonna nitpick a little bit here. Continue. I fall in the trap of doing this too. My goal is to use as much of this exit as I can. It's straight line speed. You always hear me talk about how I want to go fast in the straight stuff, and I often tell people I don't care what happens in 7 because it's slow. But with that said, I don't want to give up anything I don't have to. So what I'm not going to do is I'm not going to not accelerate hard so that I can stay over here. But at the same time, if I can use all of the exit and I can still get back as far as I can to make 7 wider, I'm going to do that, because then I can get the best of both worlds. So, and the reason I bring that up is because if we look at where you're at right now, you're upright. And we shouldn't really be upright. If I have room, continue pulling to the left. Get yourself a wider entry. You won't have to shed as much speed going into 7. As long as I'm not giving up the straight between 6 and 7 to do it, you should absolutely do it. And that's just a matter of being a little more aggressive. So now here, I'm not really sure. Maybe it was just, I don't know, maybe you weren't ready for something. But I want to be here like this, right? I want the motorcycle pointed up the racetrack. Right? So right now you're pointed off the racetrack, and I want to be pointed up the racetrack in this moment. So I'm giving up, by doing this, I'm giving up speed, and there's also a delay, right? Like you're wondering, at this point, you're wondering like, hey, am I going to make it? You're probably questioning like, I might run wide through here. So you're going to be less aggressive on the throttle. So making sure that I get nice and tight late on this apex, right? I want to apex this corner like here. This way I know I have the confidence that I have room on that exit and I can accelerate hard at 8. A lot of people don't. That's a tiny little short straightaway. Use it to your advantage. But you can hear me accelerate to you. Kind of just showing that example. Like that's what I do every time, even behind somebody. I'm going to treat it the same way as much as I can. Maybe you got a cramp or something. I didn't realize you were pitting in on this lap, but that could have been all that was. All right, well, I didn't get much of you there. Sorry about that. Hopefully it helps.